For decades, big jets meant Boeing or Airbus. But that dominance just cracked wide open because China just unleashed this, their brand new C929 widebody jet, finally revealed to the world. And no one saw it coming. At the 2025 Paris Air Show, a massive silver jet segment rolled into view. Lights flared, phones flashed, airline bosses leaned forward. On the side, in bold red letters, C929. Boom. History was made on the spot. For decades, big jets meant Boeing or Airbus. If you flew long haul, it was one of those two. Now, there's a new player. COMAC C929 isn't just a new jet, it's a shot across the bow, a serious threat to the old way of doing things. This thing can carry up to 400 people, fly 12,000 kilometers. That's Beijing to New York, no sweat. And guess what? It's wider than a Dreamliner and more efficient than an A350. The old giants just got some serious competition. But let's rewind. 2015, China and Russia teamed up, and they launched the CR929 project. Russia had the tech, China had the money and factories. They wanted to break the duopoly, and for a while, it looked like they would.
War in Ukraine, sanctions, Russia's aerospace sector took a nosedive. Engineers were pulled into military work, communication broke down, trust collapsed, and in 2023, Russia bailed. Most people said that's it, the dream's dead, but China said, let's go solo. COMAC renamed the plane C929 and hit the gas. They kept the design, took full control, and started building. Air China signed on as the first customer, suppliers jumped in too, Safran, Crane, and more. What looked like a dead end turned into a takeoff roll. Let's talk numbers. The C929-700 is about the size of a 787. Got a 65-meter wingspan, a cabin width of 5.6 meters, wider than the competition. It's made of over 50% carbon fiber and 15% titanium. That means lighter weight, better fuel use, and more range. It cruises at Mach 0.85 and can fly about 12,000 kilometers nonstop, easily covering routes like Beijing to New York. Cabin pressure is set to feel like 6,000 feet, just like the Dreamliner, so passengers feel better on long flights. In other words, this thing goes far, feels good, and sips fuel like it's on a diet. The avionics are a fully digital fly-by-wire system, electronic flight bag support, and even synthetic vision for pilots. This thing is next-gen from tip to tail. COMAC says it'll beat the Dreamliner and A350 on efficiency. If that's true, airlines will come running. Final assembly is happening in Shanghai's free trade zone. No import taxes, tight IP control, and just 2 metro stops away, machines are weaving carbon tape faster than a TikTok trend. Key players: AVIC on composites and hydraulics, AECC on the engine, and Huari on the landing gear. Production capacity is aimed at 60 jets per year by 2040, but it gets crazier. Every hero has a weakness, and for China, it's engines. The C919 still relies on LEAP 1C engines from GE and Safran. Great performance, but high geopolitical risk. Enter the CJ2000. This is China's moonshot. Targeting 77,000 pounds of thrust, it's in the same league as Rolls-Royce's Trent 1000 and GE's Jenks. The fan diameter is 3 meters, and the tech inside is wild. They're using ceramic matrix composites, 3D printed combustion liners, stuff you normally see in rockets. In 2024, AECC successfully tested the engine core. Full engine integration is scheduled by late 2025. The goal is flight tests by 2029 and full readiness by 2035. That would make China only the 3rd country to mass produce engines of this scale. And if they pull it off, total propulsion independence. Fewer export controls, no more foreign contracts tied in red tape. This engine isn't just propulsion, it's political leverage. And it's coming fast.
Meanwhile, COMAC is playing it smart. Some parts still come from the West, like avionics, but each one is temporary. Chinese startups are lining up to replace them. Now, let's peek inside. The cabin is roomy. That extra width makes a difference. 9 abreast seating, without feeling like a sardine. LED lights mimic sunrise. Air feels fresh. Windows are huge and dimmable. Pilots get touchscreens and AR overlays. The goal is simple: make flying long haul feel like business class, even in economy. So who's buying? Air China's got the first 20 jets. Hainan Airline signed a memorandum of understanding. China Eastern's reportedly eyeing the jet for fleet renewal. Southeast Asian carriers are circling too. With state-backed financing, COMAC can offer deals the West just can't match. But there's a catch: certification. China wants domestic approval by 2032. Europe and the US might take longer, maybe 2035 for the first international flights. Still, this is a $1.7 trillion market. Asia alone needs 18,000 jets in 20 years. If COMAC grabs just 10%, that's $180 billion. Even if the C929 never lands in New York, it'll shake the market. And here's why. Belt and Road countries like Pakistan, Nigeria, and Indonesia are already on COMAC's radar. These aren't just customers, they're strategic partners. COMAC is setting up support hubs, simulators, and training centers in these regions. Financing is covered by Chinese state banks. Maintenance is localized and tailored to local infrastructure. It's not just a jet, it's a turnkey aviation package. For emerging markets, that's irresistible. And for Boeing and Airbus, that's a wake-up call.
Airlines will use it to negotiate better deals. Boeing and Airbus will have to respond. Prices will drop. Innovation will spike. Everyone wins, but it won't be easy. Wide-body jets are expensive. Engines are tricky. Delays are common. But COMAC's in it for the long haul. Wait, this next part changes everything. COMAC just confirmed it wants domestic approval by 2032, with commercial flights starting in 2035. That's behind Boeing and Airbus, but they're playing the long game. Meanwhile, AECC just locked in a patent for a self-cooling turbine blade. That means engines can run hotter, longer, and more efficiently. It's a big leap, and it's happening now. And get this, on July 3rd, they successfully flight tested a 3D printed micro turbojet in Inner Mongolia. Small engine, huge implications. China is all in on advanced manufacturing. At the same time, COMAC's already ramping up. They're making 50 C919 jets this year, and aiming for 150 a year within 5. That's experience they'll use for the C929. Orders are stacking. Air China is confirmed as a launch customer. Hainan Airlines grabbed 60 C919s and 40 of the smaller C909s. Colorful Guizhou picked up 30 C909s too. That's a massive production ramp, and they're just getting started. And here's the twist. They're already sketching out the next one, the C939. Around 400 seats, a range of 7,000 nautical miles, a direct shot at the Boeing 777X. China isn't just catching up. It's planning to lead.
Of course, this could all crash and burn. Maybe the CJ2000 won't certify in time, maybe international regulators will stall, but if China pulls it off, total independence and a brand new era of aviation. And here's why it really matters. This is bigger than planes. It's about independence. China doesn't want to rely on the West for anything. Not chips, not engines, not planes. The C929 is a flying symbol of that. But zoom out for a second. This isn't just about one plane. The C929 is one part of a much bigger strategy. China's building a full aerospace pipeline, from engines to flight control software to air traffic management systems. They're even working on their own high bypass turbofan for future jets, beyond the CJ2000. Meanwhile, training centers are popping up across China and Belt and Road regions. COMAC isn't just selling planes. They're offering the full playbook. Training, support, the works. Pilot simulators, maintenance hubs, full stack support. That's a tempting deal for countries who want to reduce reliance on the West. And the tech doesn't stop at airliners. AECC recently announced a self-starting microturbine designed for hybrid electric aircraft. That could power a whole new class of regional jets or drones. COMAC has even hinted at supersonic transport concepts in collaboration with top Chinese universities. Oh, and let's not forget COMAC's internal software teams. They're coding flight management systems in-house, building proprietary digital cockpits, reducing reliance on Honeywell, Collins, or Thales. One more thing. The C939, it's not a dream, it's real. COMAC's leaked CAD renders show triple axle landing gear and a massive twin aisle body. Word is they're already testing fuselage segments at Xi'an, and rumor has it the C949 is already being sketched out. Ultra long range. Think direct flights from China to Brazil or Africa to Australia with Chinese engines, Chinese wings, Chinese software. It's bold, it's risky, but it's happening. The race for the skies is wide open, and this time, China isn't just running, it's building the track. But here's what almost no one's talking about. Let's talk data. China isn't just building planes, they're building ecosystems. COMAC is designing its own aircraft data platforms. Every flight, every system check, every maintenance record, it gets fed into Chinese cloud infrastructure. That means real-time fleet management, predictive maintenance, and long-term performance analysis without relying on foreign software.
This data loop could give China something Boeing and Airbus guard closely: control over post-sale service. Right now, servicing a jet is a goldmine. The parts, the updates, the repairs, it's all big business. COMAC wants that too. And with their own data backbone, they just might pull it off. They're also investing heavily in AI-driven design tools. Engineers in Shanghai are now using generative design algorithms to optimize components in the C939 before they're even built. That speeds up the cycle, cuts weight, and lowers cost.
That Inner Mongolia test involved the successful flight of a 3D printed micro turbojet engine, a small engine with huge implications for China's hybrid electric and regional aircraft development. It flew under the radar for most people, but it was more than just a turbine. It was a proof of concept for regional hybrid aircraft. Low emissions, short runways, think remote island hops or fast cross-country business flights, all domestically designed, built, and powered. Meanwhile, in universities across China, aviation programs are booming. Enrollment is up. New labs are opening. COMAC's hiring pipeline is practically a conveyor belt. They're building not just planes, but the next generation of people to run the show. Back at the Paris Air Show, while Western media focused on flashy displays, a quiet buzz spread through the airline buyers. It's not if, one exec whispered, it's when. Airbus's CEO said it's healthy competition. After that, both companies scrambled. Airbus rushed to finalize deals, and Boeing quickly revised its pitch deck to stay competitive. The message was clear: they're watching. Back at the Paris Air Show, where this whole story kicked off, the lights dimmed as the C929 took center stage. A student walked up and placed her hand on its smooth, metallic skin. She stood there, eyes wide. Think they'll pull it off? She asked. That's the question. And now, the world is watching.
Good question, but one thing's clear: the skies just got crowded.
And when you take your first flight in the cutting-edge C929, remember who first told you about it and subscribe.